Tech Creations reached out to me recently and sent me a couple of F-16 indexers. Let's get into it. For those of you who are unfamiliar with me or my channel, I'm a former F-16 crew chief. It has been about 15 years since I crewed an F-16, but it has only been about a year since the last time I was inside an F-16 cockpit. And I have to say, these things are accurate. These are exactly how I remember them, both look and feel. Made entirely of aluminum, the dimmer switch functions exactly like the real F-16 indexer, with 4 notched holes and a spring and ball to engage each one. And if my memory serves me well, which it doesn't always, but it does feel similar to the way I remember. I remember it feeling a little bit more stiff, meaning not as easy to engage each notch, but I could be misremembering. So as far as the tension goes, it feels very similar. The part and serial number section looks exactly as I remember it, etched and painted into the metal, with of course the complimentary Tech Creations on the manufacturer. I love it. They feel very durable, obviously made of aluminum, and very well put together. I was able to speak with the owner of Tech Creations at the Flight Sim Expo last year, and again this year at the Flight Sim Expo in Rhode Island. He personally designed all of these, has the metal parts manufactured by a third party, and then he assembles all of them. They're very well built, very well thought out, and they're as accurate as you can get. These things are one-to-one, exactly the same size, same shape, everything to the real F-16 indexers. And they should be, because he told me that he actually has a pair of real ones. Installation was simple. The circuit board that comes with it is clearly labeled, so you know exactly which pins these plug into. The cool thing is you can see there are other spots on the board for other products of his that you can plug in. So as you build your Viper pit, if you're using Tech Creations hardware, it seems as though you'll be able to plug a lot of those pieces into the same board. The board then has a USB port that plugs directly into your PC. To get it running, you just launch DCS BIOS, and that basically exports all that data to the board and then into the indexers. The installation and setup instructions were very clear, at least for me, in my opinion. Tech Creations even includes YouTube videos to guide you through the process. Now, there's only 2 critiques that I can give these things just because they are exactly like the real one. The first is the LED brightness. In the real F-16, these things can get very bright. When you push that indexer dimmer all the way to the top, it's going to be really bright. And you can put it all the way down to where it's really dim for night vision. But when you have it all the way up, it's fairly bright in the real F-16. And these don't get that bright. They don't get as bright as the real ones. Now, I was fairly certain I knew why, but I reached out to Tech Creations anyway just to get an official answer. And sure enough, he did explain to me that I was right. The reason that these aren't as bright as the real ones is a limitation of USB power output. USB ports don't push out a lot of power. That, and I was fairly certain the circuit board that he's using probably has a limitation, and he said, yeah, currently they're pushing in about 3.3 volts, which is a limitation of that board. But he said that you can take these and drive them up to about 5 volts if you wanted to with your own circuit board. But currently it's not available on the circuit board that he's shipping with these. He did say, however, that the next iteration of control boards, he's looking into possibly pushing it up to about 5 volts. But he doesn't know yet because he's not sure about how much life will be reduced off of the LEDs if he pushes the power up that high. So it really comes down to the type of LEDs he's using and the circuit board he's using as well as the limitation of the power output of a USB port. The good thing is the original design of these indexers has this really long sunshade, and it was designed that way in real life so that no matter how the jet was oriented with the sunlight, the pilot would still be able to see the indexers no matter what. So because of that, even in a brightly lit room, you can still see the LEDs. The second thing that I noted was mounting options. They are literally designed exactly like the real F-16 indexers. So the mounting holes are exactly what you would find on the real one. So if you have a very accurate sim pit for a Viper, then this is probably not going to be a problem for you. But if you have something like what I have, the only real options you have are the 2 holes that you would have on the real ones. Now, obviously, I can't really blame Tech Creations for this because there's really not many options you'd be able to give to mount these things. But maybe something like some sort of clip, maybe a spring-mounted clip or something like that would be helpful. But I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that you could probably do it. But obviously, you can't design something that's going to work for everybody, but I feel like there could be maybe a couple other options for mounting. Now luckily I was able to just use some zip ties and some hot glue and get these things on my WinWing setup, and it's working great for me. But that is something you're going to need to think about if you're building a pit, is how you're going to mount it, because currently these things are so accurate to the real thing, they literally have just the screw holes that you would have on the real ones. So you'll just have to get a little creative on how you mount it. But like I said, wasn't that big a deal for me, but it is something I want to note. Other than that, these are great. They function just like the real ones. They look and feel just like the real ones. And if you're looking to create an authentic Viper pit, this is as close as you're going to get to the real ones, and actually have it driven by USB instead of Canon plugs. Overall, my personal opinion, I like it. I think it's a great product. It's durable. The functionality and look and feel are all accurate to real life. It works as advertised with DCS. If you're looking for realistic F-16 indexers, this is a great option. So definitely go check out Tech Creations. He's got a bunch of other panels for other aircraft. I hope this review was helpful. I'll see ya.